start out all the seedlings. And so you can see I got a whole nother tray over here that are just now starting to emerge. And then I got a little mini tray with some more stuff here that I got from seed trades online that haven't even germinated yet. And so these I put in the ground about, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 days ago. I sowed these seeds, and basically the trick here is just keep them covered up and keep them on this heat mat here. So you can see nothing coming up yet, which is not a surprise. Keep those covered there. And I've seen a lot of people like cover up their trays with towels and stuff. I don't think that's necessary really. And then I know you see the light on right now. The only reason I have the light on is because some of these seedlings have already emerged, and it's really important to get the seedlings light as soon as possible. Once they get out of the dirt, they need light immediately. So we'll kind of look at what I was talking about here with the helmet head and the seed soaking. So I did not soak the seeds that you're seeing in this tray right here. I've been soaking some and not soaking some, just to see the difference here. And what you'll see on some of these, and I've been trying to prime off as I see them, but like even this guy right here. Let's see if I can focus in on this one. Right here, you'll see that it's got the seed is stuck on the head of the seedling here a little bit. And basically all seed soaking does is prevent this from happening as frequently. Now, with my current method, even without soaking the seeds, most seedlings do not have helmet head. It's kind of like a rare occurrence. But sometimes you still get them on there. There's not really a whole lot you can do except try to pry that helmet head off very carefully. And there's ways to do that, and I'm not going to go over that right now on how to do that, but we just want to talk about preventing it, and to prevent it, you just need to soak the seeds. One of the trays that I showed you last time, I did soak all those seeds, and I had basically no helmet heads on that whole tray. So now you're wondering, okay, well, what about the germination rate? How do I get more seedlings to actually germinate? And how do I get to germinate as fast as possible? Because sometimes it goes really slow, especially with the super hots. So my trick is, first of all, I have a timer. And the main reason I started using a timer, I'll show you this timer here. I've got several different types of timers, but this is one of them, right? And the main reason people get timers is for the light, so that they're only giving light to the seedlings during certain periods of the day. Well, what I started doing is I started thinking about, okay, well, what about the heat? Because I have these heat mats here, and so they were just going 24/7. The heat mats were when I started doing this a couple years ago. And I have a feeling that what was happening is my germination rate was really low because the soil was just getting really, really hot and staying hot. And not necessarily hot in the sense that it's like going to melt them or whatever. They don't get that hot. But they just get really, really warm and they just stay warm. And I think the seed just gets exhausted and just dies in that situation. So what you really want to do is you want to put your heat mat on the same cycle as you would your lights. So if you'll see right here, this is the plug for this light right here. That's the adapter for that. And then I've got my thermostat hooked into the timer. So that, and then the heat mat, well, the heat mats in this case, because I've got them hooked up to a surge protector. The heat mats are hooked up to the thermostat so that if it reaches a certain temperature, the heat mats turn off until it gets down to like 75 or something again, then it turns them back on again. But when I hook all that into the timer, none of that gets powered when the timer's off, when we're on the off time of the timer. So if you think about it, what we're trying to do is we're trying to replicate how the earth actually works. When the sun comes out in the morning and the sunlight is shining on the earth, it's not just about the light. It warms up the ground, right? And the ground gets warm. And then the seedlings get warm as well. And so what happens is you get this kind of like situation where you've got your seedling and it's like all tight and compact. And then it gets warm and it like loosens up a bit. And then it gets cold again at night and it closes tight again. And then it gets warm the next day and opens up a little bit more. And you get this like on, off cycle during the whole course of the germination, your 7 to 10 day or 12 day or sometimes 18 day, whatever, like germination, depending on the type of pepper that you're growing and how hot it is. And so what I find is that this trick of putting the heat mat on the light timer, right? So you want your heat mat and the light on the timer to replicate the cycle of the day and the spinning of the earth and the shining of the light on the ground during certain periods of the day. And I think it's that cycling of the hot, cold, because I'm in my basement right now, and so these get down to a solid like 69, 68 degrees at night, and then during the day they get up to like 85. And so it's a pretty big difference in temperature. So it cuts off at 85, so they don't get any warmer than that. But yeah, it's this constant like warm up during the day and get cold at night. Warm at the day, cold at night. Warm at the day, cold at night. And I think that is what's led to my incredible germination right now. It's so good that I don't even bother soaking the seeds many times because I don't care. If some of them get helmet head, then I just throw away the ones with helmet head, because many times, because I put 2 to 3 seeds in each cell, a lot of times I end up in this situation where I've got 2 or 3 seedlings that end up growing in the same cell. And sometimes it's even more aggressive than that. Like here, you can see this Buena Malata right here has 3 seedlings growing there, and I'm pretty sure I only put 3 seeds in there, so I got 100% germination rate in that cell. Or like back here, there's 3 in this one. I usually put only 2 to 3 seeds in each cell. So you'll see that the germination rate is really good. And even if we go back and look at some of these other trays, like I try to pull like some of them when they get the sort of size. So like a lot of these I've already gone through and pulled a lot of them. But if you look at the germination rate, like on these Bain strain yellows, like there's so many in here. Like look how many there are. I'm pretty sure like every seed that I stuck in here grew. I went heavy on this cell because I was running out of cell space. And so I just wanted to get, I think I only had like 2 or 3 cells to use for the Bain strain peach scattered around. And so I just like stuck them wherever I could, and I was like, oh well, I'm not going to grow them again next year. I just want to use these seeds while they're fresh. And that's the other thing. Make sure your seeds are fresh. Don't expect seeds that are like, 2, 3, 4 years old to germinate as well as seeds that are like less than a year old. So make sure you're using fresh seeds. And a lot of times if you're like buying seeds online and they take too long to germinate, what's happening is that they're selling old seeds. They're seeds that they didn't sell the previous year, and they just keep selling them the next year. And so you're getting old seeds, and then that's why none of your seeds are germinating. Look at those purple ghost scorpions. They look so beautiful. Man.